If you're thinking about moving to Louisville, a lot of people get it wrong, and not just on how you say our name. Here's what you need to know. We're known for bourbon, bluegrass, and fried chicken. And yes, we turn a 2-minute horse race into a month-long festival because honestly, why not? We may not have professional football or basketball, but our college rivalries, they've been known to tear families apart. Sound like a place that you might fit in? Before you pack your boxes, there are real things about life here most agents won't tell you. From the cost of living, to the housing market, to what it is to deal with our school system, and to what it actually feels like to live here day to day in Louisville. Louisville does not scream for attention, but once you live here, it quietly gets under your skin. The people who love it, we really love it. And the people who don't, well, we'll just bless their hearts. So let's talk about what Louisville actually is, including a weird social quirk involving high schools, the truth about schools, and the one thing that surprises almost everyone who moves here. I'm Katie McDaniel. Louisville has been my home for most of my life. I've grown up here, built my life here, and now I'm raising my family here. And somewhere along the way, I've turned my love for Louisville not only into helping people buy and sell homes here every day, but helping them figure out where they truly fit. This isn't about me loving it, it's about whether it's a fit for your life. And by the end of this, you'll know if Louisville's a place you'd actually enjoy or one you would regret choosing. Now let's talk about something you can't understand from a spreadsheet, what it actually feels like to live in Louisville. Louisville is a neighborhood city. People don't say they live in Louisville, they say where they live, because two areas 10 minutes apart can feel completely different. Do you want walkable streets, historic homes, coffee shop on the corner? Highlands, Crescent Hill, Clifton? That's definitely your vibe. Do you want a more suburban and a little more space between houses? Well, Highview, J-Town, or the East End might be more your speed. Are you looking for the best affordability and a grounded, hardworking community? Shavley, Pleasure Ridge Park, Valley Station could be a good fit. And later, I'll show you how that also affects pricing, because different neighborhoods can have very different price points. And here's something people from out of state don't always realize. You can get actual acreage in Louisville. There are large farms with hundreds of acres within Louisville Metro, as well as smaller plots that give you real space from your neighbor. And here's why. In 2003, Louisville merged with Jefferson County to become Louisville Metro. When that happened, the city limits expanded to include the entire county. That's why Louisville can offer true urban living, suburban neighborhoods, and even areas that feel almost rural, all under one city name. I hear this over and over from people relocating here. Louisville is friendly, like genuinely friendly, not forced politeness, not performative, just real conversation in the grocery line, neighbors who wave when you're walking your dog, friends of friends who somehow already know your name even if you didn't grow up here. And before long, you realize you're about 6 degrees separation from you and just about anyone here. It's not perfect, no place is, and if you're considering moving here, that sense of connection is something you'll feel sooner than you expect, and is one of the biggest reasons people fall in love with Louisville. But it's also something that can catch people off guard too. I'll touch on that when we get to the cons section. You'll hear about bourbon and the Kentucky Derby, and yes, they matter. But don't worry, Louisville is not Derby 365. Day-to-day life looks more like this. Coffee at Quills or Honey Brothers, dinner on Bardstown Road, a picnic on the Egg Lawn, sledding on Cochrane Hill when the snow is falling, walking across the Big Four Bridge at sunset. Being outside isn't a special occasion here. It's just part of how the city lives. The Olmsted Park system weaves through our neighborhoods. The parklands give you hiking, biking, canoeing without even leaving the county. Waterfront Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month in the summer, is hosted by WPK, one of our local public radio stations, on the Big Four lawn overlooking the Ohio River. Culturally, Louisville sits in an interesting space. The South, they consider us North. The North, they consider us South. So you'll get a Southern warmth, people holding doors, talking in line, calling you hun, one of my personal favorites, but you'll also get the Midwest practicality and a slightly reserved edge. That blend is part of the charm, and that's either exactly what you're looking for or the reason Louisville does not work for you. And here's a very Louisville specific things. Don't be surprised if one of the first questions someone asks you is, where did you go to high school? Even though I grew up here, this question still throws me. They're not checking your GPA. They're just trying to figure out who you are, who you know, where you grew up, and if you might know their cousin or their favorite bakery. That's just how people connect here. But that same closeness can feel different depending on your personality. Because all this sounds great, but none of it really matters if you can't afford to live here. So can you? Compared to most cities, yes. Overall, Louisville's cost of living trends to come in below the national average, especially when it comes to housing. Depending on the source, we're usually 7 to 8% lower than the US average, and housing is where people feel that difference the most. The median sales price is currently around $280,000 to $290,000, with steady, modest year-over-year gains. It's not a boom or bust market. It's generally more stable than a lot of larger metros. When you compare that to cities like Chicago, Nashville, Atlanta, Louisville regularly lands 30 to 40% more affordable, depending on category. But here's the part that trips people up. It's not just the price, it's where you buy. And this ties back to what we talked about earlier. Those neighborhoods, they don't just feel different. They're priced differently too. So your money stretches here, but how far it stretches depends heavily on location. Median sales price in the Highlands, Crescent Hill, Clifton, $385,000 to $475,000. Shavely, $200,000 to $225,000. J-Town, Fern Creek, $300,000 to $360,000. East End, $450,000 to $475,000. If you're seriously considering moving to Louisville, I put together a relocation guide that breaks down neighborhoods, price points, and what to expect in each area. I'll link it below so you can grab it. Now, this is something that doesn't always get talked about enough when people are relocating: healthcare. And depending on your situation, this can be a major factor on whether you choose Louisville. Louisville actually has a strong healthcare presence, especially for a city this size. You've got major systems like Norton Healthcare, Baptist Health, U of L Health, along with specialty care, children's hospitals, and a large medical workforce. It's one of the larger employers in the area. For a lot of people moving here, this shows up in different ways. You might work in healthcare, you might want access to strong medical care, or you just want to know it's there for you when you need it. And Louisville checks that box better than people expect. On the flip side, if professional sports are a big part of your life, I want to set expectations early. We have professional soccer and professional baseball, and of course, horse racing. Louisville City FC and Racing Louisville are two professional soccer teams, and their fan bases can be intense in the best way. Heckling refs are always a highlight, and the matches have their own unique vibe. Louisville Bats, our pro baseball team, is affordable, lots of fun, family friendly. But if you need NBA, NFL, NHL, that's going to be a road trip. Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Nashville, pick your directions. But college sports, that's where Louisville shows up. The rivalry between the University of Louisville Cardinals and the University of Kentucky Wildcats is no joke. During basketball season and football too, families split, offices divide, and friendships get tested. Trust me. You may think I'm joking, but if you're moving to the area, this is something you definitely need to have a heads up on. Louisville has a legitimate food scene. Yes, chefs do use Louisville as something of a test kitchen. We're big enough to support creativity and small enough that word of mouth travels fast. And the locals, we absolutely show up for good food. You'll see Southern inspired, farm to table, Vietnamese, Cuban, Middle Eastern, Mexican, Thai, Ethiopian, elevated comfort food, and a serious brunch culture. Louisville doesn't always market itself as an art city, but honestly, we should get more credit. We have the Kentucky Center for the Arts, which hosts a Broadway series, the Louisville Palace, which is one of those buildings that is much of an experience as the shows it hosts. Actors Theater of Louisville is definitely a local favorite. St. James Art Show, which is the first weekend in October. Music festivals like Bourbon and Beyond, Louder Than Life, Iroquois Amphitheater, Louisville Orchestra, Shakespeare's in the Park. I could go on and on here. Now, all of this probably sounds pretty great, but there are definitely some reasons Louisville does not work for everyone. Because this always comes up, our public school system. Is it good? Maybe. Is it bad? Possibly. What I can say is confusing, and there's a lot of chatter on a national level about it. And that press is not always good. Louisville is served by Jefferson County Public Schools, or JCPS, one of the largest districts in the country. 170 plus schools, around 95,000 students, and within that, there are a lot of options. Traditional, magnet, specialty programs, home and cluster schools, and it is always changing and can be overwhelming for those of us that grew up here, and can be flat intimidating for people moving here. So how do you know where to pick? The honest version, experiences vary. My brother and I both went through public schools at different paths, different schools with very different experiences. Some schools are strong academically, even nationally recognized. Some are improving and some struggle. It really depends on the school, the program, the area. You cannot look at JCPS as a whole. You will have to check individual schools to be able to make a decision and have a backup plan in case you do not get into the school you want. Alternate options are private schools. Louisville has a lot of private school options, but come at a price, quite literally from your wallet. So what does it mean if you're relocating? Do your homework, look at ratings, visit schools, talk to parents, think about fit, because schools here are not one size fits all. This is where a lot of people start to realize whether Louisville really fits their life or really does not. And there are other reasons why Louisville does not work for everyone. For starters, if you're coming from a massive metro, Louisville can feel small, and I mean really small. After visiting cities like LA or Miami, coming home, our downtown looks tiny. And because of that, our public transportation is very limited. We don't have rail systems, nothing above, nothing below ground. We have TARC, our public bus system, and we are a city that honestly most people have cars and drive. If you enjoy big city life with all the action and people and excitement and nightlife that comes with that, Louisville will not be a fit for you. Nightlife is not endless, public transportation is limited, and because it's tight-knit, people tend to know each other. And even though we are friendly, that close-knit can be off-putting depending on your personality. If you like the anonymity that comes with a larger city, Louisville might feel too small for you. And I would be remiss not to mention the allergies. We sit in a geographical bowl, and even though the nature is abundant and beautiful, I do not know many people who can make it through the spring without a sinus infection. Buy your Zyrtec in bulk. We are lucky enough to have all 4 seasons, which I personally love, but storms are frequent in the spring and summer, and tornadoes have been known to happen. It is why I often have people looking for a basement, not extra space, but as a storm shelter. With storms comes rain, and because Louisville is close to the Ohio River, there is quite a bit of area considered in a flood zone, which will cost you an extra insurance, from a little to hundreds of dollars a month. Winters are typically mild, but our summers can be really humid. At times it can feel like you are literally swimming through the air. It's hot, it's humid, everyone complains together. So what does all this actually look like in real life? If affordability matters, quality of life matters, healthcare options, you want space but not isolation, food, arts, and culture are important to you, Louisville tends to hit that balance. If you are looking for NFL, NBA, NHL, ease and consistency in school system, public transportation options, endless nightlife, or storm and humidity-free living, it might not be the best place for you. And that's okay, because the goal isn't to convince you that Louisville is perfect. It's to help you figure out whether it actually fits your life. And if you're trying to sort through all that without getting a sales pitch, I'd be genuinely happy to help.